Hey guys, Dr. Lester here today, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the importance of sleep. I know, it's such a hard topic because most of us want to sleep anyways. But getting sleep is a really, really hard thing, and I get it. I am definitely an insomniac, and I've struggled with it since I was, God, as far as I can remember, I would have like I don't know, 6, 7, 8, I was struggling with sleep. So definitely getting enough of it is important, and making sure not just getting enough time specifically, but that restful sleep. So I can talk to you about a lot of the different things that you already know, but some of them I want to try and throw some things at you that you might not know. So of course, things like eating too late can definitely have an effect because it affects your blood sugar a little bit. But it kind of just depends on what your system looks like. I hate giving people like a time frame. Like if you're eating at 10 because you go to bed at 2, then I'm not going to yell at you. If you're eating at 10 because you're going to bed at 11, we probably should have a conversation because that blood sugar spike is going to keep you up. It also kind of depends on what you eat. There are some things that are known to keep you up, dairy in particular, which is funny because we always like that warm cup of milk, which is supposed to put you to sleep. It actually has kind of the opposite effect. Anyways, and then there's some things that can like stir up nightmares and stuff like that. Caffeine also is obviously something you should not drink before bed. So some of those things are pretty common ones. You've also probably heard about turning off your electronics. The biggest reason for that is not just because it stimulates your brain because you're doing something, but also because of the blue light in those. They actually mimic sunlight. So the blue light from your screens is telling your brain, hey, it's during the day, you need to be awake. And if you're doing that at nighttime and trying to lie down in bed and go to sleep, you just told your brain that it's awake. How do you expect it to go to sleep? That it's daytime, of course it's not going to go to sleep. So that's important. There are also a lot of things that talk about, the significance of having Wi-Fi close to your head at night, and that it can definitely interfere with sleep patterns, and in addition to a whole lot of other things. So definitely making sure that even if your phone is next to you, trying to at least turn the Wi-Fi off at the very least, but preferably getting, your Wi-Fi or your phone fairly far away from you at night. Just so you don't get all of that radiation and stuff that's coming off of it, or all of those signals, those waves. Another one is definitely going to be that exercise does get you tired. Pooping yourself out throughout the day will help you sleep better at night. But not just, physical exercise, mental exercise can be exhausting, this. So any kind of, something that's exercising something, your brain or your body, is going to help you sleep better at night. And then I would also argue resolving some of the things, like I used to read the Chicken Soup for the Soul books as a kid. And one of the things that I really learned overall, it wasn't like an overt thing that they said, but was just to never go to bed angry with somebody, at least just putting it out into the universe, saying, like, I'm really hurt, I'm really upset, at this person, but let the universe know, or send it out to them that I love them and I don't want to hold this. I need to let it go, and please help me let it go in my sleep. And those kinds of things help a little bit with processing during your sleep, so maybe you won't have so many nightmares and whatnot, all of those things. Another less common one is pain. Pain is actually a pretty big reason why we don't get to sleep a lot of the time, because think about it, you're stuck in one position, well, if you don't toss and turn all the time, for hours. So of course you're gonna get a little bit tight and wound up. So and then of course pain that could be coming from, like, not just the position you're in, from a bad bed, from a pillow that's not right for you, all sorts of things like that. Also, side note, I don't have a recommendation for pillows or for mattresses. I know I get a lot of people that ask me, and if you find one that is fan-friggin-tastic, please let me know, because I've tried all sorts of things and I can't seem to find one yet. I've tried all of the the really expensive ones, the chiropractic ones, the cervical orthopedic ones, all of those things. And I haven't found one that I love yet, so enough to recommend. So, side note. There's just a lot of different things that can affect the quality of sleep that you have, and another very obvious one is, of course, breathing. So a lot of the people who have sleep apnea. Now, sleep apnea can be for a lot of reasons, but one of the big ones is that you actually have cranial faults, which is affecting the top of your palate. So when you sleep, your tongue and your mouth can't relax appropriately, so it ends up causing a lot of snoring and an inability to breathe. Now, it is not necessarily the fix for sleep apnea. It can help sleep apnea. In addition, things like grinding and clenching at night, a lot of those can be because your jaw is actually out of place, out of alignment, and we can help with that a little bit. It could be your jaw, it could be your cranials, it could be a number of things, that's upper cervicals, those kinds of things. So there are a lot of reasons that ultimately prevent sleep, difficulties with sleep, but it's super important to get quality sleep. So I highly encourage you to, at least at the very least, get some stretching in there. Have a routine at night that is quiet, that is just you, where you can just have a mindless kind of routine. Mine is where I take off my makeup, I listen to some music, I try and always, have a little bit of the same routine, even if it's for 5 minutes, to help me unwind just a little bit before I go to bed. And then always, I really think it's important to, set those energies free as far as emotional stuff, because it doesn't, if you died in your sleep or whatever and you were processing those things, or you had horrible nightmares or whatever, I just never want those situations to come up and affect my relationships or affect how I leave things, if that makes sense, or to ultimately affect my health for long term. So definitely resolving some of those for it, and then putting your mind to rest as much as possible. I think that there's, like I said, we could go on forever about all of the different types of things that affect sleep, and I'm sure there are at least a dozen that I missed. But hopefully that helps just a little bit. Sleep is super, super important. It really is when we regenerate all of the things. And if we're not getting enough of it, then it throws literally everything off. And how many of us are getting enough sleep? I know I can't raise my hand on that one. So, again, I hope that helps, and definitely ask me and we can talk about your own sleep routine and what that's looking like for you and where there might be pitfalls and whatnot. And we can work something out. But anyways, thanks guys, and I hope that helps.